We're back, baby. What do you think of that?
Boo.
Didn't like that one?
The universe widely regards this as a bad move.
I wasn't
All right,
here to
well-
begin with.
When did
It's-
Data become the dungeon master?
You guys, shut up. It's the 9th of September, and this is the Loose Screws podcast. We had a week off. It was a quasi-accident, sort of planned, sort of not planned. I'm in a weird mood because of a screw up with food that made me a raging animal for the last hour and a half, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So let's go ahead and reverse the order. Tonight I'm joined by Ty Worsham. How are you?
Hey man, I got a quick story about raging food. So
Okay, wait, hold that thought. We're
Okay,
also joined by Nurgle. Hi.
Good evening, everybody. How are y'all? It's
Lieutenant Commander Data.
Hello. Good evening.
Hate is here.
Greetings and salutations.
And Dubs is here.
Yee.
And out of frigging nowhere is Teflon. Welcome, Teflon.
In real life, I am actually a 16-inch horse.
Okay.
I'm
In which
actually a
direction?
16-inch horse as well.
Yes. We're all 16-inch horses. I don't know what that means because I came in late. But Ty, it's story time, man. Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Oh, we haven't done this in a while. We
wait.
haven't done this. I know what you're going to do. I know it.
E.
Oh, shoot. Wrong button.
No!
practice.
Gather round, children. Old Man Ty has another story to share.
Just crack open a beer for this one. There we go.
All right. Here we go. So, myself, Nicole, and her daughter kind of have a little tradition of going to, or me going to get Starbucks most Sundays. Not every Sunday, but most Sundays. So I go get Starbucks.
How very opulent.
I know. And here's the thing. Like, my capitalist self is kind of a weird dichotomy with the socialistic ways of Starbucks management versus their capitalist business. So I'm really at odds with it overall. But anyway, all this to say that so I go there, and I was served by a girl. I say girl because she was not a woman, named Vixen, Vyxzyn. Apparently, they didn't teach her how to spell.
That's Elon Musk's kid, right?
Anyway, she had like short purple hair, and I don't know, everything was pierced. It just screamed irritation all over the place for my, self.
Old self.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're old.
Yeah. So I'd get my food, and we order 3 of those stupid sausage biscuits that are like $5 a piece, ridiculously priced. I could have made them myself. I come home, and one of them is frozen. So
That's great.
Nicole, being the ever, peacekeeper, trying to make peace with everything, is like, I'll just heat it up in the microwave. And she heats up in the microwave, and I'm sitting there eating it, and I think to myself, hold on a minute, yours is like toasted, and hers is like toasted, and mine's like chewy, And I started thinking to myself, I just paid $5 for a sausage biscuit that I have frozen sausage biscuits in the damn freezer right now that I could have heated up for 32 cents. Oh, just drove me crazy. I wanted to drive back there and just punt, and I don't like believing in women, but I would have found a way to punch Vixen.
Wow.
It probably wasn't her that prepared the.
It probably
Sandwiches.
wasn't, but it was the principle.
So there
Learn
you
to
are,
spell.
just blaming someone that's not even their fault.
I
Her
know.
fault.
I know.
And she didn't She didn't name herself.
Nobody named their daughter spelled like that. The only people that look, my mom.
I don't know,
love
man.
my mom. I love my mom. My mom was a pothead and named me Ty. All right,
I mean, I don't think that
because
says what you think it does.
because
Of all
she
the
didn't know how to
wonderful things it does?
spell. She didn't know how to spell Thai. She named me after the weed Thai stick, which was like the best weed she ever smoked. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, you've told us this story.
Yeah. So
I don't see why that makes you think that somebody didn't get named something that's like closer to a name than that. Right?
yeah, I don't have a lot of logic in this. It was my frozen biscuit rage. Okay.
Well, I will say Trax can probably definitely understand considering the rage he just had 30 minutes ago. So
Yeah, there's nothing worse than ordering
I-
food, paying good money for food, and it being fucked up when you get it. Nothing.
I do feel comfortable saying since the pandemic, the quality of any drive-through has gone down substantially. Like it's a 50-50 chance nowadays that I don't get everything I ordered or something's wrong.
Yeah.
They're
when I
all
go through a
starved for
drive-thru.
workers.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I would say it's hard to fuck up Taco Bell. I mean, it's all the same ingredients, just shaped differently.
They're almost
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, without question, without
I don't know. Our
Without
local
exception.
Taco Bell closes at 5:00 p.m. now because they don't have enough workers.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of in the
Sad.
same boat, man. Which is weird. They're paying like $17 an hour right now. These people keep jacking up how much money they get paid. I'm sitting there looking at how much money I get paid per hour, thinking to myself, a little more, y'all. I'm gonna be flipping burgers with no stress.
Well, I don't know about no stress, but you go ahead.
Compared
get
to the
old
current stress
Capitalism,
levels,
baby.
Yeah.
you get old curmudgeons yelling at you when their burger's not cooked all the way through.
Or
Then
or-
you
or-
just
or their
quit.
biscuit is frozen.
You just
Their
wait
biscuit
to
is
be,
frozen.
yeah, you just
Wait to
quit
be
and
on the
meander on down to the
receiving end
next
of
job.
the frozen biscuit rage.
That should be the
Somebody's
title
gonna
of the
be
show.
walking in there. I don't believe in punching people in the face, but I'm about to do it to you, sir.
I said I don't believe
Because
punching
of my
women in the
frozen.
face.
But for you, I'll make
Yeah,
it.
I was actually.
I'm all pro punching people in the face. Some people
that's
need to be
worse,
punched in
man.
the face. I know. I just absolutely worse. I don't support it at all, and I'll probably be canceled because of it. But you know,
Oh God.
Oh,
yeah.
hashtag,
All right.
hashtag cancel tie.
Hey,
I can see it.
Teflon, I'm going to go to you next. What's been keeping you up this past week? Also, who are you? You've never been on this show before.
He's been on every
I'm
episode.
just
What are you
like,
talking about?
He's been on every episode.
Yeah.
I've just been sitting,
every
right over
free
here in the
episode.
corner. Like
Governor
if you-
Teflon.
yeah.
How is it
the
going,
governor.
man?
Oh, it's going good. I've been playing. Oh, I don't want to even. I've been into the whole drama of Titanfall.
Are you the
And
hacker? Is it you?
I'm not the hacker. No, I couldn't hack my way out of a paper bag. Since that's not even a thing, it tells you about how much I know about it. So no, I could not be the hacker.
Exactly something I would
cool.
expect a hacker to say.
Well, I mean, my FBI agent can attest to it. Then played a little bit of Elite this week.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
came in for fight night.
Yeah, I got in for bounty hunting. That was fun.
That's right. Bounty hunting night. All right. Well, cool, man. Welcome to the program. So Teflon's usually in here with us before and after the show, and typically ducks out. And today it was just like, you know what? Let's not.
Well, today I'm sitting
Just
in a
let it
recliner with
ride.
my wireless headset playing Titanfall. So
Oh, so before
can't
we
even-
were stressing you out too much, but not anymore.
nah, I was just at my computer before. Now I'm too lazy. Now I'm too lazy to get up and go change. So I decided to stick around.
Cool. All right. Well, welcome to the discussion, whatever it turns out to be. Nurgle, how's it going, man? What's up with you?
Pretty good. For me, I've had more opportunity to play this week than I have in a while, and I contrary to some people in this current chat, I am actually still enjoying playing the game.
We all enjoy playing the game.
Yeah. We'll
Just
see.
not.
Yeah. And work-wise, it's been clown car music all week long, so I have needed to log on in the afternoon and shoot things. I've been doing a lot of bounty hunting because of it.
Super.
Never work for the government, boys and girls. It's dysfunctional.
Cool. Data. I haven't talked to you in a long time, man. What's
Yeah,
up?
I know. I missed all the fun bounty hunting night. I've not been on a lot this week in between just being busy and having later evenings with kids' sports and helping a friend move. When I have been on, I'm still into Dishonored, having a good bit of fun with that game. I think I'm getting close to the end of it, and that'll be good. I'll have had enough time with it to appreciate it and have fun with it. I don't think I'll jump straight onto the sequel just yet. I'll give it some time.
I think the first one's better anyway, so I don't think you're missing much. That's just my opinion.
I haven't even played the second one, but the first one was great.
Yeah. I'm not sure I actually finished the second one.
Well, I thought they were all great. I even played the little half game that the third one turned out to be.
Death of the Outsider, is that?
Yeah. It's not half. It's a little shorter. Anyway. The second one just feels massive because you can essentially play it twice because there's character choice. And they have different superpowers. So anyway, cool. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite games. Love it. Hey, how's it going, man? Are you sleeping?
I'm not yet. Maybe before the show's over, but not yet.
All right. How's everybody?
We had the cold sweep through the house, not the Rona, just like the Ronavirus.
Regular one.
Yeah. And the regular one. And we're all recovering now, but I've been doing the overnight with the newborn. So normally I've just gotten out of bed, but I've been up all day. I pulled an all-dayer today.
Ooh.
I've noticed you in the Discord at early wee hours of the morning. Is that your new schedule, or you just so happen to be up?
Yeah,
baby.
That's the regular schedule.
I'm sorry.
It's very peaceful in the mornings.
I know those.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but I remember.
Cool. You getting to play any games?
Yeah. One of the Discord, one of the newer Discord boys bought me Space Engineers, and one of the other guys is hosting a server, so we're doing some multiplayer Space Engineers stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, Minecraft in space with some air quote physics.
Rad. Pretty rad. All right, who's left? Dubs.
That's
you've
me.
been playing.
I mean, it's been a pretty average week for me. Nothing crazy has changed. I've actually been playing more No Man's Sky than usual, but we did beat the hell out of some pirates in Elite Dangerous. And I think AX has been the majority focus of what I've been doing since the last time we did an episode.
Oh, sticking it out there, yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that's it. I'm a pretty boring person.
All right. Well, for me, I actually did get to play some. And we did let's see, we had a couple of stream nights. We did some AX, like you're saying, then that was last week, I guess. Oh, and then we did do a bounty hunting night this past couple of days ago. But then on AX night, the twist axis spring on my HOTAS broke in the middle of the stream, so I had a floppy yaw. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Love me
When
all.
that happens.
Yeah,
Make a pill for that.
I understand it
Yeah,
happens
well,
to everybody,
and of your age, yeah.
every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah, I took the low hanging fruit on that joke, but I'm still proud of it. It's fine.
Own it, man. Own it.
Oh yeah.
They can't all be winners.
Yeah. So I ended up trying to get the thing warrantied, and in going over it with Logitech, it's an X56, and going over the details with them, we eventually discovered that back like a year and a half ago when I was buying this, you kind of go through several of them sometimes with Logitech because their quality control is a little light, and I knew that. So they have a 30-day return policy, and I was just using that to cycle them until I got a good one that all the axes worked and everything like that, the way they were supposed to. So this is actually the third one that I've had in my possession, the one I eventually kept. But during all that like returning and reordering mess that I did, apparently the third and final order I placed got refunded around the same time as the second order got refunded, which they discovered when I went in and they were looking up warranty information and getting ready to ship me a replacement now. So apparently, and I went back and went ahead and verified this on my credit card. Apparently, the HOTAS that I've been flying with for a year and a half, I was actually never charged for. So obviously, that's not going to be warranted then. So anyway, the torsion spring and the twist axis broke. I ended up bending a new one. I knew I was going to have to wait, right? So I basically ended up bending a new one out of a split ring with some pliers and stuff, and it pretty much works. There's a little play in it, but it actually feels like the tension's pretty close. So anyway, I'm using that right now, and it's all right. But I've starting to strongly consider looking at a VKB Gladiator to
Well,
replace this with.
let me just chime in here real quick if I can. I happen to have, I'm looking at my Logitech X56 right here collecting dust, sitting on my desk doing nothing. And if you pay for shipping, it's yours.
Oh, that's kind of you. I think I'm going to sit for a minute. I actually was talking with APOC about, he has one with a correct spring. He actually he got a warranty replacement for a different issue, but he has so he has two that have working springs, and we were looking at getting the measurements and possibly sourcing some replacement springs, or maybe even having them manufactured exactly to spec. So there's things in the works, but my stick still works. I don't know. I don't think anybody has to give me anything for free. I've been using a free stick for like 18 months. So I really sort of am feeling kind of bad about that, in all honesty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you didn't know.
So anyway, no, I didn't know, but still, if anybody was getting a free stick, it probably shouldn't have been the guy who had a free stick already.
Well,
but anyway,
I happen to have another free stick for you. Oh, it's a dick joke.
Yeah, all right. I was there with you.
Dick jokes all the way down.
Yeah. This is going to be one big dick joke the whole podcast.
Right. Well, I was sort of taking it as a good opportunity to kind of get into a higher quality piece of kit, you know, and the VKB looks like about my speed, and it would be a great choice, I think, eventually for a dual stick. So I might be getting started on that path. But anyway, I also combine that with like my discomfort in the past few months just about this game, and like kind of having a little bit of an on again, off again with it, you know? So it makes me feel weird about spending hundreds of dollars on something. You know, it's like on the one hand, oh, well, apparently I wasn't charged for this the whole time. That means technically I didn't spend the money I thought I made. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, do I want to? I don't know.
Well, you could just wait, 500 in-game hours before deciding to buy the new hardware.
And explain that to me. What happens at 500 in-game hours?
But that's actually not my story. Maybe our featured commander could tell us about his purchase of a flight stick.
Oh,
Jeez.
because I played with my controller for the first 500 hours of Elite and then just to make sure that I was really going to stick with the game before I spent money on a flight stick.
Oh, wow.
Ah,
That's a lot, man.
that's dedication, Holmes. That's dedication.
Well, I had good people I was playing with, so I stuck around.
Oh, so he turned it into a nice thing to say. Do you see that, guys?
No, he
Yeah,
said
it
he-
doesn't happen that often.
He said he had good people, meaning not us.
Oh, I thought it was us. I guess I'm very naive.
It is you. Not Nurgle, though.
Thanks, man.
All right. Well, to complete my story time, I guess I made the podcast an hour later than it was supposed to be because we had one of those days where you just order DoorDash, right? And we ordered, and it got picked up, and then the carrier person texts me that they've been sent a second order from the same restaurant, and they've been waiting for 20 minutes for it. He has our food, but he has to wait at the restaurant, and he ends up waiting there for almost 40 minutes, and they eventually give him the food. And by then I'm like on with their support saying, well, this isn't okay. Like the food's going to be all cold and gross by the time it gets to us, and so on. And they horse around with me on the phone for a while. By the time you're basically trying to get me to just wait for it anyway. And then by the time I convince them that I'm not going to accept that, he's literally driven from the restaurant past our house, I presume to the location of the second order to deliver their food first. And then when I told them that, I could see on the map, they were like, okay, fine, we'll cancel your order and you can reorder it. So that's why I was like an hour and a half late having dinner and raging like a bear just woken up in the spring, I think. So
Berdrin?
but that's okay.
Berdrin. Oh,
They
nobody's
won't
gonna
get
that
it.
joke.
Don't tell them.
Nobody's going to get that joke.
Okay. Do you guys want to let's tuck into this thing, right? Let's talk about the faction.
Let's do a podcast.
Incoming priority message. Squadron briefing.
So in the past 2 weeks, what has happened? We've gone into expansion. Maikoro is expanding. It looks almost certainly like we're going to a system named mezavinni. I mean, there's a mathematical possibility that we can end up somewhere else, but the chances of that are really small. We've finished the first part of setting up the final fight in V640. So let's unpack that. We've got V640 Justice Party in a fight now for the last system resource. So after they win that system resource, we'll fight them, take the last major port in the system, and then we'll finally, after I don't know how many months of working that system, kind of have it locked down and in maintenance mode, and that'll feel really good to get to. And then I see under the squad notes somebody put, is the timing of the tick a massive discouraging pain or what? To which my answer is an unequivocal yes.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I figured. The tick timing for us is essentially right now as we record. It varies from night to night, but it's usually somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30 Central Time. Which,
sort of in the middle of play sessions over here in our time zones.
Right. And the part that really bothers me is not so much when it occurs, because this is a game that's played around the world in 24 time zones. Somebody has to deal with it happening in the middle of their playtime. And before Odyssey, the tick was occurring at like 8 a.m. Central Time, and we had it really good. And every time there's an update, it shifts, so it'll change again. It would be possible to deal with the late tick if the system was actually ticked at whatever, like they're supposed to. But what's happening is there's this molasses-like wave of system updates that goes across the virtual galaxy that sometimes takes 2 or 3 hours to propagate. And the tick is actually divided in two parts. There's the first part where it updates the status of the systems. It resolves wars, it does retreats, and that's called the state tick because it does the status. And then there's a second part of the tick where it goes through and does all of the influence changes from everything everybody's done. So that state tick plays out over about 2 or 3 hours. The influence tick comes behind it and can take another 2 or 3 hours to process. During all of that time, the only way to get accurate information on what's going on in a system is to fly to it, land at the port, and look at station news, because the information panel in your ship doesn't update. You can go to the squadron panel and kind of look at squadron stuff, but that only tells you the systems you control. It doesn't tell you the rest of the stuff. Nothing updates in a way that will go to a third-party website until 3, 4, sometimes 6 hours after the tick has gone through, and it is a cluster, is what it is. And then,
so what ends up happening, like to from a simplified perspective, because this is what I was feeling, is just it's demoralizing because we're working at something, and around the middle of when our play sessions typically are, or maybe near the end for some people, some early to bedders like Data here. But like, anyway, the point is it's happening at this time, and we don't really know when things stop counting for a previous day and start counting for the next day. And we won't know for, like you said, 4 or 6 hours later. So it's like, what's the point of it happening then? And we can't tell. And there's this massive limbo, and we don't know what's going on. And sometimes it doesn't matter. If you're on day 2 of a war, you just keep going. But there's lots of BGS things where it does matter, and you would change what you're going to do, and you want that information. And we used to be able to get it. And so it's like, if this is how it always was, then we wouldn't have lost anything, you know?
Let me add another layer of pissed off to that. So I get up in the morning, I go to work, I have my cup of coffee, get my day started, and then when I get a chance to look at, say, Inara to see what's been updated for the night before, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I see such and such a system was updated 6 hours ago on Inara. I don't know if 6 hours ago is enough for that to be the updated status or still before the tick. So at any point, unless something was updated, at least 8 hours after the tick, you can't trust the numbers you see. And so unless you're physically in the game and flying to these systems, you can't update anything. And I know that's a very first world problem, but it makes it literally cuts the time we then have to manage BGS goes, in terms of central time, from about noon till 8 p.m. Because by noon, anything that's been flown through, we're pretty sure that that's updated. And by 8 p.m., we're coming up on when it's going to tick again. And a lot of us are still at work during the majority of that time.
Yeah. So we're proceeding on some old information, trying to get it in on time, often failing to get it in on time, and then not knowing if it got in on time until the next day at noon, where we can't do anything about it again.
And you may have said this already, but is it consistent from day to day, at least?
No.
Yeah, so it's like...
I mean, it never was perfect.
No, in a broad sense, it is consistent, but in a broad sense means it's consistent over about an 8-hour time span.
So you've got a plus or minus window of 8 hours from day to day that the tick could
What is it?
That it could
Correct.
hit each individual system, essentially.
Yeah,
He's a
or at least that the updates could be considered valid.
oof.
What
Yeah,
does
So
it
it's-
vary so much?
Well, it was
This
not
new
like
way
this.
they're doing it.
It was not like this pre-Odyssey.
Yeah, it like there was like a fairly, I want to say it was like a couple of hours for them to do the server update. For them, I get that there's some math behind it, but you know,
Everything went through at
Pre-Odyssey,
once. Yeah.
pre-Odyssey, from start to finish, the tick rarely took longer than about an hour to process.
yeah. So what the hell is going
okay.
on?
But that's just what we saw. It, well, I don't know. I thought it was a little confusing when Dav Stott tried to explain this many moons ago on one of the Supercruise news streams. He appeared randomly. He was summoned and appeared, and
Yes.
he tried to explain this. And my rudimentary understanding of what he was trying to explain was that the way they had to change it to make Odyssey work alongside Horizons, which share a galaxy and share a BGS, but there are segments of them that don't go to Horizons, so they have to have it gets split at some point. Like the data gets split. So they decided to instead, they used to like do the whole, have it process the whole galaxy and then propagate the changes. And that propagating the changes part was the part we saw. And the other part was invisible to us or something like that. And now the whole thing is just rolling all the time instead of the way it used to, like some of it was hidden and then it would sort of propagate much quicker.
And that is what he said, because I heard that too.
Okay.
And I know that this is going to sound like a gigantic ego statement, and it is not meant to be that way. But I heard him say that, and I am sitting in my chair screaming liar at the top of my lungs, because it literally never worked that way. The way he described it is not the way it ever actually worked from what we saw, because prior to Odyssey, you could see a wave of updates go across the galaxy. You could see them
but I still
propagate,
thought that was like the second half. It was like that was after they were calculated, they would propagate.
Which-
but now the
which-
calculation happens in real time and they start propagating before the calculation is done.
which may be, well, but if that is true, they still need to go back to the way they used to do it, because at least then there was a definitive point in time when you knew the results were in and it changed. Now there's this hazy, maybe now, maybe in 8 hours, who knows, kind of, what are we looking at thing. And
so the cutoff point might be different for every system, just like the change point might be different for every system, whereas before it was just the second part.
Exactly. So there's a whole bunch of things about BGS right now that have me, really not happy.
The lack of confidence that anybody has in what they're doing is having the intended effect. Pretty demoralizing.
It's demoralizing because BGS, whether you think you play the BGS or not, you do, and it's the lifeblood of the whole game. Like, and I'm not a power player, but I'm sure that ends up being a similar kind of feeling to people who do it. But this is really what the game is. This is going on all the time. Right. And when you're out here working on something, like, unless you're just like, oh, let's mess around. But a lot of the times we're working on faction things and we're trying to accomplish some goal. And when you spend 3 hours working toward a task and then find that, oh, shoot, the tick probably rolled through our system, 2 hours ago, and most of that was lost. Or, oh, I just did bounty hunting for a couple of hours, but I actually didn't make it to turn in my bounties. And the tick went off like 5 minutes before, but I have no way of knowing that. It hurts.
It hurts, yeah. And that comes home because we did that, what was it, Monday night, Tuesday night?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, granted, we had fun doing what we were doing, but we chose the activity we were doing because we knew we could have fun doing it and work the BGS, and only half of that happened.
Right.
So, I mean, you guys know that I don't. I mean, at least I think y'all do. That I have like very few little patience for people spouting off bullshit to me. And what was just
Really,
described
you
to
never call
me,
me out.
what was just described to me that Dav said about that is bullshit. All right. And here, let me tell you why. Number one, if the tick was fairly predictable, which by all evidence, everything I've ever read about it, aside from like the occasional patch day or the occasional weird bug that would take place, it was a fairly predictable thing.
Correct.
If it was predictable in one environment, then IT tie kicks in and goes, then it's predictable in another environment. Because if you didn't reinvent it, if you're doing all the same stuff, then it works the same way.
Exactly.
Which only means that their process has changed, and because we don't have a steady, we don't have a dead. I mean, they know how long this shit takes. Without a doubt, it takes time to do the things. I get it. They know how long it takes. They know.
But it's variable though, because how many calculations are needed depends on what happened in that BGS cycle. So it makes sense that it's variable.
But the number of calculations didn't change just from one version to the other.
No, right. What changed is now it seems to propagate the changes while it's calculating, instead of having those be a separate part of the process. Anyway, I'm probably don't understand this well enough to speak to it with that much authority, and now I've repeated it like 3 times, so I'm starting to feel bad about that. However, it is different. The process is different, and it's causing the timings of things to be different in a very, very frustrating way that I don't think, I don't know. I guess all I can say is they're obviously not going to pull it back and go the other way. All I can say is I hope this changes somehow. I don't know, maybe with the Horizons reunification, but I kind of doubt it, because Horizon still isn't going to have this on-foot settlements in it, so it'll still need to be split. So I don't know.
This whole thing screams of, at some point they're having to do some, because this whole thing screams of the fact that they don't have their automated process set up. Because if it was automated process, it would happen specifically at a time, it would finish specifically at a time, and you could get it down perfectly within 10-15 minutes. It would happen at the same time. This screams of them doing the math on some stuff, and them going, okay, now we got to manually input these numbers.
And one of the things that has never made sense is, currently there is a large time disconnect between what you see when you land in a station and look at station news, and what you can see in your right-hand status panel for stations. And that can be off by several hours between when those two values sync up. If those two numbers are all coming from the same database entry, why are they different?
Yeah, it doesn't make it does not make sense, and what Dav said about it does not make sense. And it like I said, it just screams that at some point they're having to do some manual data entry, and that's the part that's variable.
Or that with Horizons, the process changed significantly with Horizons, and they're trying to marry the two at some point.
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems to me like at some point it should. I don't know how to put it. Like it seems to me like at some point it should just click and work.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
Because I mean we're 6 weeks. We're 3 months out. We're 4 months out of launch. 3 months out of launch here, and they don't have this shit automated yet. Really? What's going on?
Oh, I do think it's automated. I think the problem is something changed in the Odyssey launch that is causing the process to take longer and possibly require some human intervention to fix. But I think it's just a process problem. And I think it comes down to, they've tried to keep 2 separate instances of the universe that share one common BGS database. Mm-hmm. But I really think that there is a Horizon calculation, there's an Odyssey calculation, and then there's a reconciliation of those two. Now, they have said that, no, it doesn't work that way, but that's how it feels.
Yeah. It's having the effect of seeming that way.
Right. And, perception is reality. So
every time.
Because face it, we're all armchairing this anyway. We don't know how anything works.
Right.
So
Yeah,
how it
that's my fear.
appears.
We should move on. Yeah, for
we should.
specifically that reason. Next up, let's talk in-game news. First of all, have you guys heard about this 45G planet?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
It's something about that.
Yeah, so a planet with a gravity reading of 45G was discovered, a landable with no atmosphere, with 45G planet was found. Well, I guess I don't know if it has no atmosphere. It has a landable atmosphere. Landable atmospheric condition was found 45 Gs. Wow. Oh my God. It doesn't sound like anybody's super eager to comment. Spoiler alert. I think it's definitely a bug. I don't even know. I didn't look it up.
It doesn't have a visual
I'll
bug.
go. I'll take my Type 7.
It appears to be a visual bug. I watched on the day it was found. I tuned into, everybody was streaming, right? So I tuned in to see Crispy Tater Tot, and he landed on it twice. The second one with FA off, and literally bounced off the surface. Now I've seen people do that very gently on the 11G planet and completely explode their crate, and he did it shieldless. FA off, bounced real hard off the surface, and then bounced a couple more times on the way down, and the first hit was only like half his hull. It's not 45 Gs. It's behaving more like something in the range of 10. I mean, it's high, but it's not real.
No.
It's like a visual bug in the system menu and in your screen when you approach the planet and stuff. But so sort of not as interesting as it at first seems to be.
Which is a shame.
Never mind.
It's a shame.
I don't want to go.
Yeah, if I didn't mention it, I'd hear about it.
It's a silly place.
On second thought, yeah. But that brings us to Galnet, which is just full of juicy goodies that Dubs is going to tell us all about.
Oh shit! Get ready for this oversimplification of the in-game news, boys.
Break it
all right,
down.
so I believe the Marlinists have settled down for a little bit. No crazy news. They beat down the NMLA, right? Onion Head, people want to turn it into a legitimate medicine sold by Big Pharma, mass producing the shit. Why the hell not? All right.
Why can I be Big Pharma? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, I know. Like something's illegal, and some big company's like, hey, you know what? I have a lot of money. That's not illegal for me. I'm just gonna make it.
All I'm saying is, I want Frontier to put manufacturing in this game, so I can manufacture Onion Head and become a drug lord. I mean, I don't see why that's so difficult.
Yeah, why is that?
Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, just let us make drugs and sell it and do other illegal things.
Yeah, in your galaxy.
Yeah. That's fine. Next thing, Hyford's cache unlocked. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to happen years ago. Probably a bug, and it took them this long to get around to actually fixing it, or whatever reason. We're not gonna spoil that one here. Other content creators have covered this very in depth. If you like to go have things spoiled, go for that. If not, follow the breadcrumb trail yourself.
Is that the next part of the Azimuth or the Adamastor?
This happened way before those. This was like back in like the Black Flight days. So that's where this came from.
Yeah, it is associated with both, though, isn't it? Because it was back in those days. So Black Flight actually joins the Azimuth story with this.
Okay. Well, yeah, go hunt that down yourself. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody because I don't personally understand the story 100% well enough to tell it.
Yeah, pro tip though, the cache is in Colonia, but it immediately points you back out to near Bernard's Loop. So at least look up where you're supposed to go in Bernard's Loop and just go there instead, rather than going all the way to Colonia and all the way back out. Yeah,
Look,
it's just to hear one.
You
message,
you may as well go to one extreme or the other. Follow the breadcrumb trail yourself, or just say fuck it and watch something from Burpit had a pretty good video on it. I mean, why go halfway? Why Google things and ruin it?
Two different advices, sure. Anyway.
But yeah, moving on. Federation gets criticized by the Empire and the Alliance after their factions secede, as if those guys didn't have their own issues. They also suck, so don't let them fool you. Torval built an orbital station after winning a mining CG. Whatever, no one gives a shit about that. Federation, I think the ACT, that was the Federation, right? That's
No,
the
it's
reason.
everybody.
That's everybody? Okay,
Yeah.
so the ACT claims victories against the NMLA. Probably just fake news. Mahan claims that the Sirius Treaty would have saved Aegis because throwing more money at the problem always makes things better and corruption doesn't exist. Big Pharma got the support from the community to mass produce drugs. I guess people like illegal things being legal when you have enough money to do so. The Feds and the Imperials are actually on the same page here, being mad about it. And, for the big surprise, Archon is not happy about this and has declared war against the faction that supported Big Pharma in making this happen. So this should be fun.
Yeah.
And that is it.
And somebody this afternoon in a post I saw, I believe it was in our Discord, said that there were already like 400 people signed up to protect Big Pharma and 80 for Archon.
Yeah.
Which is a
surprised?
shame. I'm actually rooting for Archon to lane in this one, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
I
you're
would
going to
be
get.
too, but not going to happen.
Yeah, the big guys are going to win this one. But then again, who knows? The Federation used to be the big guys that always won, and they've been getting their teeth kicked in lately. So, hey, might be a surprise.
Yeah.
Woo. All right. Thanks, Dubs. So, next on the list, catching up on dev news. So, last Tuesday, there was a Supercruise news stream where they went over the dev update 3. And I'll just kind of catch us up in general here quickly, because this week wasn't a whole lot different. So last week they talked all over the Dev Update 3 post, including an updated issue tracker list with statuses of the different events, and then their Let's Play streams happened on Thursday. Then this past Tuesday, another update to the issue report. So another Supercruise news, even though they're claiming to do these bi-weekly. And not a whole lot changed. So probably fine to sort of combine these into one description. And then this past Thursday, Thursday's today, this past today, their Thursday stream was a story and lore narrative they called it, a narrative round table, a narrative panel, what's
Panels
happening
can't be
to me?
round.
It was the thing, yeah.
I smell toast. Anyway, it was
My nose is bleeding.
what's happening? So they did a lore stream. Bruce and Zach brought on Malik VR, Grinning Crow, and Psykit to talk lore, and it ended up being pretty much purely about the Thargoid story. And I will say, for me, I thought it was really fun, and having seen and heard all these people talk and get into the lore on their own, this was so much cooler to have them all arguing with each other, and like counterpoint. Yes, but did you think of this? Sort of was tremendously more fun for me, at least, than individually. No disrespect to any of their streams individually, but anyway, that was my opinion. So, where do you guys want to take it from?
I like that they're starting to close out issues in the issue tracker that are just like complaints and not actual issues.
Yeah.
Like number one, lighting and illumination, where people have gone back and forth on whether space should be dark or not so dark. They're marking it as
Right.
It is resolved. The nothing to do on long shuttle rides. Sorry guys, it looks like we're not going to get Tetris to play.
Yeah.
while we're riding in the taxi.
They haven't marked that one off yet, though, right? Like, they're saying fixed, but they're not deleting it. I thought.
I thought they said something about giving the ability to direct, like basically turn the shuttle around, or something like that.
Redirecting it or canceling the trip is their fix, but like any further things like adding a side game or something like that seems to be off the table, or you'll need to continue harping them about it because they think they're done.
Yeah, they're marking it as fixed when Update 7 launches. Yeah, I like those parts about it. And the conflict zone improvements or bringing it up to what it should have been at launch for the surface conflict zones.
Actual combined combat
are nice. Yeah, actually having air and ground mixed together, trying to balance that somehow.
Right.
That's a step back to basics there. I'll be interested to try that out. Both on foot and from a ship with the dogfighting and taking out the turrets. It'll be interesting to see how the different approaches work, whether you go for disabling the turrets from the ground, if you're even able to blow them up from a ship. And I heard somebody say you can also reprogram them for a certain time. Maybe.
I don't think so. That was what they wanted to happen in discussions on, I know, at least on Lave Radio. They were like, "Oh, I wish we should take them over and either use them from the ground or reassign them to your faction." But it seems to me that what you're talking about is you can disable the cannon itself, and that would allow someone to persist in the airspace.
Right. Okay. I thought I had heard that both was able to be done, but if not, then okay. Yeah,
I think I heard something about them being shielded. Maybe you disable the shield or something, but then you see in the video, in the sort of trailer video for the update, you see them cutting open the panel and turning it off.
Right.
So kind of assume it's limited to that, but maybe that's pessimistic. I don't know.
Yeah. So how that'll tie in with if that makes you spend so much time going from turret to turret disabling them, if that prevents you from capturing their command points and you still don't win. Anyways, I'd be interested to try that out.
Or if you have a friendly ship that needs to come in and you need to get rid of that turret, then maybe that's worth a lot because then they can start raining the missiles down,
Right.
Yeah.
Or booping people right out of the sky.
Yeah.
I want to see how aggressive these rocket troops are that they're adding.
Yeah.
Also, see if they just go crazy with their if they have
you bring in
awesome
an SRV,
aim.
overwhelm you.
Which, I mean, you get overwhelmed if there's 3 or 4 guys with regular guns shooting at you. Your SRV doesn't last long now.
Yeah, you got to run them over.
Yeah.
Can't wait for your slow ass turret. Said the guy who doesn't have Odyssey. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've gotten out of the news from the past couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. What anything else catching your eye in the dev update? Anybody at all? Don't all talk at once.
I'm with Dubs. I'm going to be happy to see them try to balance combined arms.
I mean,
because it's swung.
That was Data. Are you mixing up Dubs and Data too?
That was
yes,
Data.
I am.
Does this keep happening? Why do people keep mixing this up?
Why?
Okay.
I know
we're
both.
It's the D names. They just all run together.
Listen, Data, just
it's
calm
the
down.
name you're mixing up, not the person. I see.
Exactly. That's my problem.
Is the sound of my voice.
Dubs,
Data.
Dubs, let Data talk.
What?
No.
Damn.
Flawless.
With our powers combined, we can equal that of an average person.
Defend Nurgle, he's not wrong. I kind of agree. So he's right by saying he agrees with me.
Thanks.
I will say, I will add that I find myself a bit excited to know that Horizons is going to be getting some quality of life updates trickling down from Odyssey. I know that they will at least be the increased module storage and increased bookmarks, but hopefully they are limited to that. And I eagerly await news of what else that update contains.
So have I heard from the community managers talk about it being server limitations that causes these limits? Like
That's what they said.
How is that possible?
They said 200 is the hard limit.
How is that
for
possible?
Modules and bookmarks?
Like, it's just like a text storage, isn't it? It's not storing the graphics for each module at all times.
So IT professionals, please interrupt me, but that means you're storing text in a limited field.
So
which you don't have to do.
These are all items in a database.
Right.
And there should theoretically be no limit.
Yep.
Well, okay, so I'm going to disagree a little bit. He's right. They are all items in a database. There should be no limit because it's not like there's a limited box. But you got to think about there are millions of players, and at some level, database storage.
Yeah.
There's a value to it.
You have to put a functional cap on it, otherwise you're going to just consume servers. But from a literal standpoint, there's no hardware limit.
Right. So I mean,
even though each module might take up 1 byte of data on a server.
Well, no, it's because it's storing all of your engineering. It's storing what you paid for it, so it can calculate replacement value.
He gave you 8 bits.
Yeah, there you go. So
what do you want?
They are storing a significant amount of information on each module. You know, when you look at it across millions of players, it does add up. But to say that there's a hardware limit is either just flat out being dishonest, or it's just a weird way of saying we only have so much server space, and this is where we're cutting it off.
I mean, it's how much they pay for Amazon Web Services, right?
Yeah,
that's their limit.
That's really what it boils down to. Is that at some point someone put a value to
they coded a max value.
Whatever there's a real world dollar amount to the amount of database in each entry. And I don't know what that is. Let's just say it's $3 per module. You know, I don't know what the actual number is.
Well, I think it could easily be not strictly dollar related. Like we couldn't be talking, we might not be talking about the difference of tens of gigabytes, meaning some kind of financial amount. I think, more likely it is code related. It's just that there was a bit of code that was done lazily a long, long time ago. And now they've found that even though they try to increase it, they can't increase it past 200 without causing some kind of problem that's going to, cost a lot of man hours, a lot more than they can spend.
And I guarantee you that problem is if we go past 200, it becomes a system response issue.
Yeah. That's
really
more likely what the actual. Well, at some level, the server has to load all of the data. And there's a magic number that they've calculated to where, that this is the right amount that we need to cap it at to make it safe or make it reasonable for us to leave it at that level. I don't know what that number is. Apparently it's 200. So
yeah. And the other part of that is somebody did the math and went back and said, if we go up to 201 per commander, AWS is going to charge us for another rack of servers, and it's going to cost this much.
Right. And that's really what it boils down to, is that at some point there's a dollar value to each entry in a database, and someone's going, okay, this is how much we're making, this is how much we're spending, and at this point we're losing money.
Yeah.
So.
And despite what Chig will say, 200 is an entirely reasonable number.
All right. More on that next week.
Chig would say, if you don't like it, fuck you.
Yes, he would. Chig will have to come on here and rebut that statement personally.
All right. Chig, by the way, sends his love to the podcast listening audience. Do you guys remember when he quit his job? So apparently the thing he's doing now instead of a job takes up way more of his time. And he's very irritated by that and can't get away to do the podcast. So
It's porn. He's doing porn. That's why I'm here. Because he's doing porn.
Cheesy porn. Yeah.
That's our show title.
Ow, chicka pow
It
wow.
is.
Backdoor churning. Series 7.
All right.
We said porn, not gay porn.
Hey,
You don't know what kind of porn he's doing.
Hey,
you don't know the sex of the butter.
Check got the old man laughing.
Okay,
You're not right.
What else? Any other comments about dev news? There's kind of a lot there, sort of. I don't know, maybe not as much as dev update 2.
I think update 7, when it comes, I think is going to have a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be interesting to see what it does with performance, because I know the last couple of patches have kind of gone left and right with performance, but
and they still have performance on the list for at least update 8 as well. So they're, we remain cautiously optimistic.
Well, I mean, but we've been saying this since about day 3 of Odyssey, is that eventually they're going to fix the problems. They're not going to leave it broken. They're going to fix it. It's just a question of how long it takes them to get there and how many players they hemorrhage along the way.
Right.
And what else makes you fix it?
Right.
Yeah, the opportunity cost of fixing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
I didn't mean to walk over you, Ty.
You're good, man.
All right. Sounds like we're good on that. So we haven't had a show since the race. Last time we got together, there was we did a little podcast stream-ish thing that turned into a big party, and there was much racing. What do we think? It was good, right?
Yeah.
I think I won one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, we won one of them by killing me.
No, I won one fair and square, and somebody killed me.
Chig's here.
Oh my God!
I hope you washed your hands. I hope you washed your hands before you came in here.
Yeah, did you wash your hands before you decided to touch your keyboard?
Oh my God!
Wait, what? What did I walk in on?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Nobody tell
me what your new job is.
You'll just have to listen.
To the show.
Yeah, you'll just have to listen.
No, I always wash my hands after touching my keyboard.
Because you know where the keyboard's been.
Well, I know where the keyboard's been. I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to hop in and listen to the end of the show. I finished up my other crap I was doing and was just going to pop in. But since you said Chig's here, I figured I had to say hi.
What makes you think we're at the end? We're just getting to the squad update. Take it away, Nurgle.
Oh, God, he's going to talk about pins.
No, I'm not. Thank you.
15, maybe.
Callbacks.
Hey, Chig,
we'll be sending all of that to you in a DM.
What was that, Teflon? Sorry.
I said, what's your opinion on 16-inch horses?
I don't know what that's about.
I got nothing. I'm just going to go, yeah, cheese.
All right. We were actually just talking about the race a couple of weeks ago, race party, which actually Chig wasn't there for it. Well, no, you watched, didn't you?
I watched a good chunk of it. Yeah, I'm way the hell out in the black. I'm about 70,000 light years into this trip of mine now. So,
finding anything interesting out there?
I don't know. There are some cool looking planets because of the whole plant gunning thing. You know, I land on a lot more planets than any expedition I've ever gone on, and there's quite the variety. You know, people complain that Odyssey doesn't have a variety, but man, there are some cool freaking planets.
Have you found the planet that from the screenshot, the Steam screenshot yet? Has anybody found that?
I found planets close.
But nobody's found that planet, have they?
Yeah, no, I've not found the exact planet that looks like, you know, my backyard in winter. I have not found that one yet. No.
Don't come home until you do.
Yep, there you go.
Deal. I'll keep searching. So
cool. Well, yeah. So we had a good time. I think we should do more of those. So I was gonna postulate that the plan in, I don't know if we should call them off weeks, but assuming that, you know, I think this last week and this one was a little bit of an anomaly in that that's when the dev update happened to be ready. So they kind of did 2 Supercruise news instead of doing their TikTok kind of order. But if that does continue and we kind of have like news every other week, then in the off weeks, there wouldn't be all that much to talk about. But maybe we have a party instead and do maybe a quick catch up with the squad and then hop into anything, some kind of group activity. And so how did you guys feel that all went? Like streaming from the stage channel and getting together with everybody?
I think it went great.
Seemed good, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
Yeah, people said they liked just the audio of it too, listening to it later. Of us messing around.
Well, that's good because I definitely cut off only did the podcast part on audio only. They must have been listening on YouTube then if they saw the rest of it.
Okay.
I'll put out an official request for CQC night. I've got us sitting at 7th right now, knocking on the door of 6th place, and I'm pretty much sure I'm the only person putting points up because I kind of track it a little bit. So a little help would be awesome. And I know that we've got a good PS4 crew on CQC too. They could show up and be doing, you know, at the same time running matches on PS4.
Sure.
Single malt Scotty, he's been playing a lot of CQC.
You're late to the show, though. I don't feel like you should be able to request anything. You need to go.
That's why it was request. I didn't demand it with authority.
You need to go.
Do you have a second? Anyway, I was about to say the ayes have it. Let's pencil it in for next week.
Yeah, that sounds great.
For real though.
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
What'd you say, Hate?
That sounds like a plan for real though.
Oh! I thought you had something negative to say.
only for my namesake.
Just another yay sayer.
Oh,
I feel like a lot more of us could use more yay sayers.
Yeah.
Yay.
Awesome. I think that's a great idea. Let's make it happen. So next Thursday, let's get around for CQC night. Let's plan on doing that at least every other week, kind of a post-podcast party. And we'll broadcast from the stage channel on those nights to make sure everybody knows what's going on and hype it up and stuff. So I think that'll be fun. And people participating can join in. Rules for stage channel is we're not necessarily going to accept everybody's request to speak because it'll get wildly crowded. Anyone can come and listen. But this kind of goes in general. If you see stuff going on in the stage channel, it doesn't mean it's general chat. It means people actually participating in the thing that need to be part of voice comms. Like that would be the ideal. That's how I try to do it when I stream from there, and that's how I think would work best from here. If we're doing CQC, kind of people in the match, like we should be talking, and then everybody else probably like there's chat rooms, right? There's YouTube chat or something. I assume we can stream this to YouTube when we do these. So,
anyway, definitely.
That was me spouting rules as if I am the arbiter of everything, but unless somebody disagrees, that seems to work. Also in community comms, Crash is organizing a Guardian site visit for the 11th. Is that Monday or Tuesday? I didn't look at the
Saturday.
Saturday.
The 11th
It's
Saturday.
It's Saturday. Oh my God, it's 2 days from now. So Saturday. So if you can hear the sound of my voice and you're interested in Guardian unlocks, Commander Crash is going to be running his carrier out there. There is a link in the show notes to a Google Doc, and he's also posting about it like everywhere in Discord, like the Fleet Carriers channel, the events channel. Everywhere's got a post.
We do
That
have
Crash
just a
is
tiny bit
solid
more about
guy.
that. We are
Yep.
flying out there on Crash's carrier under his benevolence, but the information gathered is from DJ Wiley's trip several months ago. So big shout out to him too.
All right, DJ, a space hero for us all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
a little bit of other news is that so
Is that
historically,
you're wildly smacking the trigger on your HOTAS right now?
yeah.
No, that was from Chig's end.
I don't think I realized
That
how
was-
loud my freaking keyboard was. I'm sorry.
You're just going crazy over there. All right, go on.
Yeah. So historically we've had really good feedback when we do the tech shows. So
Oh yeah.
I figure we should plan to do another one of those fairly soon. So if you have like tech questions, you can actually ask like a real IT person that doesn't actually know much because he spends all his time having to write
Armchair the hell out
policy
of
for dumbasses. So
Wow, that's selling it.
Really.
that. Now between all of us, we can put together quite a bit of PC build questions and other stuff like that.
yep, just
Or answers, I should say.
if you have a question that you want read on the show or answered on the show about tech stuff, I don't know when we're going to do it. Probably the next couple of weeks. Shoot it to me. You can message me in Discord or shoot it to Trax, and he can get it to me. Or hell,
Put
I
in
don't
show
know.
feedback if you want.
Yeah, show feedback. That's a good place to put it. So anyway, that's it.
You can just ask me anything.
Or ask Teflon.
Just
He'll
anything.
answer. Yeah.
Any
I was just
questions.
going to
Doesn't
say
have to be
hi.
about tech.
My wife just called, thinks there's a skunk in the yard, so I got to run. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Good night.
So that's what
Good
we're
night.
calling it now.
The
Yeah, I was
skunk
gonna
in the
say,
yard.
so now we got to discuss what that's
I'm
innuendo
gonna
for.
change it.
That's the co-star of his next film.
All right, I'll change it.
So
Skunk in the yard.
No.
So-
I still
Yeah.
like a chick.
We gotta stick with
it.
it.
we're sticking with
in
it.
the
Yeah.
yard. Oh, we're sticking with it.
Sticking
All right,
with it.
Undo.
All right. So
Undo.
now that Chig is out of the chat, a quick bit of CQC trivia. So
Oh,
in the squadron, Chig has the most kills, obviously. How many do you think he has?
Oh, he probably like I would say 5,000.
No less than 13.
13? That's what you're
Okay.
going with?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 472.
14,794.
I remember when
Wow.
we crossed the 10,000 mark.
Single malt Scotty is second. How many do you think he has?
35,000.
7,000.
1,964.
What
He
the damn
literally
hell?
holy crap!
12,000 less. Now, who's number 3?
Me.
It's
Yeah,
gotta be
probably
me.
Yeah, it's Ty. It's Ty.
No.
So how many
Is it
does
really
Ty
me?
have? Yeah. So
Oh,
how many
shit.
does Ty have?
Ty has like 6.
10.
I think I had like 700, something like that.
958. So
There you go.
second
Oh,
place
you're doing all right.
Second place is 12,000 behind first place, and third place has half of second place.
You can still catch Jake,
Drop
Ty.
off.
We got some work to do.
Sounds like I need to be there next Thursday is what it sounds like.
Dubs
like it.
Dubs has 171. Trax has 109. Data has 78. I'm not doing the math on the multiple hates.
Well, I'm not doing so bad. That's all right.
And then I'm in 13th place at 46, which surprises me.
And let me tell you,
all right.
I started doing that CQC shit, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my fourth elite. And then Chig started playing, and like me and Chig were like, all right, man, game on, let's see who gets there. And then at some point he passed like I don't know, like 3,000 kills, and I was sitting over there like 200 or some shit. And like, all right, well, you win. I'm done here.
Yeah.
It's been real. Thanks, man.
Way to go.
I just don't have that kind of time, man. Not to play games anyway. So
Elite in CQC is a life commitment.
it takes a lot.
Sure is.
It definitely takes a lot. I don't think it's not worth it though. I would love to have that other lead.
It's one of the very fun parts of the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
I don't play it nearly as much as I should because it is always immense fun.
Yes.
If there was more people around my skill level, I'd probably have more fun doing it.
I kind of wish they would expand it. I don't know what I want them to do with it. I just wish they would expand it. I don't know. I think the best example I would give what I want them to expand it is basically just give me some more like, okay, let's just do full blown ships. Let's just bring all the ships in. Let's do it. Like have big old space battles. Well, you can do that everywhere. Yeah, but
you can still pick them and just pick from a predefined loadout.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
As long as I don't have to use my own ship and not with engineering and stuff. You know, the way it is a CQC where it's the rock, paper, scissors style balancing that we all agree the engineering is missing to a certain extent.
Yep.
Yes.
Is what CQC has. So
yes.
Because the changes that you unlock by playing more of it is like you can change, you know, the resistance powers of your shield, but you're always giving something up. You're not like, you know, adding a thermal resistant booster. You're, you know,
right.
So anyway,
They're incremental little changes. Yeah.
It's lateral changes rather than upgrades.
Oh, he's still here. Oh my God.
Well, no, I just got back. It was a skunk. It was a big fat fucking skunk. So thank God my dog didn't get up.
I bet it was.
Wow.
You don't even know. You don't even know.
Just wow.
Huh. I can't wait to listen back to this tomorrow. All right. Go on.
We're about done here. As a matter of fact, unless you want to give us a cheese for the week.
Okay. Those little snack packs where you get the little cheese stick thing or the little cracker sticks that you dip in the cheese.
Mm.
If you look on the back of the package, that's labeled as processed cheese food. I don't know what processed cheese food is supposed to be, but it says cheese in it. And those things are damn tasty. I just had one for a snack 5 minutes ago, so that's what I just came up with. How's that?
That'll work.
Nice.
Actually, that's
okay.
Yeah, I support this.
All right.
Outstanding. That's outstanding. So that's going to do it for the Loose Screws podcast. If you like the show, please rate and review on your podcast app, which tells people how to find the show by making it show up in their searches. That's a real, honest fact. You can join us on Discord at discord.io/Loose Screws, and you can check out the merch store at loosescrews.com, which is loosescrewsed.com for mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Be there, be square, and if you don't like it, you know, go eat craft singles or whatever, and
fuck you.
Fly loose and fly screwy, and yeah, we'll see you next week. There'll be a CQC party, so come on around next Thursday. Do it. Bye.
Bye.